Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. What's up? It's your boy Malcolm. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but let's go ahead and hit the intro. And thank you once again for tuning in with me. Thank you, thank you. Tonight's drink is brought to you by Crown Royal Peach. You guys know me. I like to sip mine on the rocks, especially if it's a flavored beverage. I don't really see the need to chase it. Anyway, let's get into the news. White House backs off on tariffs onto Colombia after agreements on unrestricted acceptance of migrants. For those who for those of you who are unaware, earlier over the weekend and of course over this just past week that went by, we've had a number of immigrants taken out of the country via deportation deportation operations in various countries, in various cities, returning to various countries such as Colombia, Mexico, Venezuela, and things of that nature. Mainly these deportation deportation operations, deportation operations. That's going to be a tongue twister by the end of this video. Those deportation operations are specifically to target the violent offenders, specifically the sex offenders and known murderers and people who have any violent background that has undocumented. Like when they cross the border, they got their name, their information, and the country they came from, like Mexico, Venezuela, or Colombia, said, yeah, this person's a murderer, this person's a rapist, this person's, oh, I don't know if I could freely say that word on here. I need to, well, moderate myself a little bit better. But because this is on YouTube and you know YouTube doesn't allow certain things. But anyway, so the White House backs off on tariffs on Colombia. Earlier this week, the Colombian president, I believe his name is Petro, Gustavo Petro is his name, he was denying a number of flights from the US because a number of the returned migrants were complaining about treatment. Some were saying they were handcuffed the entire way. Others claimed there was poor treatment, harassment, and other um, inhumane things. I would say not all cases have come to light, but mainly it was poor treatment, overpacked conditions, how they were treated in general. A lot of people were in handcuffs. And I mean, that is to be expected when you consider the fact these are known criminals that they are deporting. So for a moment there, uh, Trump was threatening, I think, 25% tariffs on Colombia. And the Colombian president was like, well, we'll hit you back with, I think he said 50% tariffs. And it was on his X, formerly known as Twitter. Um, and I think he dropped it down to like 25% tariffs. And then they just backed off and stopped. So, well, as of this article I'm reading here via CNN, they've backed off and it seems they've come to an agreement and they're going to let the planes come in with the migrants and return them to Colombia, which overall I feel is, I would say it makes sense. There's no point to have a whole argument about this, people. These, they're Colombians. We're returning them to Colombia. Having a whole tariff war like Trump and China did a few years back is just pointless at at this point. You know, like they're going to be returned. And whether they return here to America or not, we don't know. But there's no need to fight it. Just let them return and deal with them as they return to Colombia. But I'm glad because pretty much all the tariff wars do are increase prices on everything around us. No one really wants to deal with that. Like I think Colombia has a lot of agricultural imports that we so I mean it's pretty much going to affect our produce if they do decide to have a very, noticeable tariff war out of nowhere, just over a few. Well, I wouldn't say over a few, but if they decided to have a whole tariff war now, the price of fruits and certain vegetables and agricultural goods would go up noticeably. And let me go ahead and move on to the next thing here. First, let me read like this. Kia recalls more than 80,000 vehicles over airbag and seatbelt issues. And I actually reading this via AOL. Shout out to all the millennials and older people out there who remember AOL and dial up internet. So Kia is recalling more than 80,000 of its Nero vehicles over an issue that could prevent the seatbelts and airbags from functioning properly, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Frequently adjustments Frequent adjustments to the front passenger seat may pose a serious safety risk by damaging wiring beneath the seat that controls critical features such as airbag and seat belts, the automaker said in a report filed to the NHTSA. This could prevent airbags from properly deploying during a crash, deploying unexpectedly, or not switching off for small passengers, increasing the potential of injury, the report said. The recall affects 80,255 Nero EV, and Nero plug-in hybrid vehicles manufactured between August 10th, 2022 to December 13th, 2024, equipped with a manual front passenger seat. As of June 10th, no crashes, injuries, fatalities, or fires have been reported, according to the NHTSA. Well, I mean, this was probably a good thing. They caught that before anyone seriously got injured or hurt. Um, I guess this speaks overall to the quality of cars and where they're going to nowadays. I think we do need to take a good look at these manufacturers. And before you buy a car, look at the manufacturer, look at their safety ratings, look at their recall history, look at the number of other, um, noticeable newsworthy things that have happened, any scandals, and then look at the overall engineering of the car and the use of said vehicle that you want it for. You know, if you're just going to go to the store and like down the street, you really don't need a big V8 pickup truck. I know some people are going to give me the side eye because I drive a V8 pickup truck, but I actually use it for pickup truck stuff. You know, I carry tools around. I use it to haul groceries in the back of the bed. On the plus side, I live pretty close to my job, so I don't waste that much gas. Yeah. But yeah, this was not a good look for Kia, especially I think what like 3 or 4 years back too, we had the whole Kia Boys incident where people were getting their cars stolen. It's just it just wasn't a good look. It wasn't. But I think we should all take this time to really just be thankful for what we have and just always keep a discerning eye when we're dealing with these automakers. And well, I'm pretty sure you guys seen this one. Go ahead, zoom down a little bit. Advanced Auto Parts is closing stores across the U.S. I spoke about this a few weeks back, and now that we have another article here, this is just you know driving the nail in the coffin. These part stores are overpriced. They do not give you the best overall bang for your buck. It's going the way of Rock Auto, Amazon.com, eBay.com. The online retailers are starting to kick their butt. And just to drive home that point, let me see. Advanced Auto Parts. Because I just got it in today too. Those of you who follow me on social, I'll be sharing some updates later this weekend. Well, next weekend coming up. I got some upgrades that I'm doing on my pickup, and I'm definitely going to be sharing some photos of that with you guys. Yeah, I got too many. Let me go ahead and close some of these tabs. My computer's starting to lag. I was at work this week talking with my coworkers. Two of them were going back and forth about why one of the, well, basically the two were going back and forth on why the other has like a very like over modded PC build instead of like the standard out the box one you buy at the store. And which reminds me, I need to link my homeboy Tation. I need to get a I need to copy a link to his podcast and stuff. Get him down in my description. One of these podcasts. I'm gonna have him join me. But anyway, so he basically said he does it so he doesn't have to modify his PC every 1 to 2 years. You go above and beyond the first time, you don't have to worry about it for at least 4 to 5. Because as far as gaming goes, there's never really a massive like leap forward like that every 1 to 2 years. It's always like 5 and 10 year increments that you start to notice the big leap in gaming. Like right now, everyone's hooked on the whole graphics, graphics, resolution, how many enemies can we put on screen. I think, yeah, with like Dynasty Warriors, they went and hit, I think, like 1,000 uh, MPCUs on the screen. I may be wrong on that. Yeah, my computer is starting to fight with me now. Go ahead and minimize something here. And let me go ahead and share this tab. Delphi. Mass Airflow, $129.99. CarQuest Premium. All right. So just from $89.99. Let me see if there's a cheaper one they got here. Sheesh. GM Genuine Part. 400. Okay. Cardone. Okay. And plus the refundable core. Can't forget the refundable core charge. Okay, so you got anywhere from $400 down to $90. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to this. Let's see what I got on Amazon. And voila. This is what you get. Now, I ain't gonna lie, some of this stuff is Chinese, knockoff, suspect. Like, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. But, as you can see, like, boom, right here. Uh, Jeez, I can't even look. It says Advan EX on the box in the background. I don't want to click on it, but 542, averaging out to 4-star reviews. The Delphi for like about 20, 2-day shipping, about $20, about 20, $30 difference. Free shipping, so I don't know if they were going to charge you shipping in advance. I kind of exited out, but I think they offer you free shipping on orders over $50 or $100. So you would have got free shipping. Let's see what else we got. More, listen, I'm not even going to try to. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that or this below it. But you guys see my point. You can just go online and find something so much cheaper and alternatively better. That I mean, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. There was no way to stop this. I'd love to stay and ramble on at the time, but hey, guys, the fans, and all the people that do support me and tell me they actually enjoy this stuff. But yeah, just to sum it all up, thing to actually say I would be this: put out more learning material for DIYers, specifically target the DIY market, because the people who are still at home, like me myself, I bought a new water pump, I got a new serpentine belt, I got thermostats, I still got to do I got to do my intake manifold gaskets, but I'm taking the time to actually fix and work on my vehicle as a way of keeping it on, because the way these car prices are, if I want another like equivalent full sized V8 truck now, maybe with like 50,000 miles on it, I'm gonna pay like 60 to 50,000 dollars for it. If I want something with less than 100,000 miles, I'm talking like 40, 50,000 miles on the dash. I'm gonna pay around like 60,000 to $50,000 for that, and I'm not trying to pay that right now. I'm really not. So I would rather, and I think in the video I'll do a final price check. Once I get all the repairs and stuff done, I'll go ahead and do a full price quote on everything and what it cost. But working on your vehicle and maintaining it in the long run is a lot more cost effective than going out and buying a new vehicle every 3 to 4 years, like these manufacturers are starting to push you towards. It's just not. No one's making that. Well, there are people, but a lot of Americans are not making that type of disposable income to where you can just buy a new car for 30 to 40,000. That's why these new $35,000 cars and under are selling so hot and are such a hot topic in the car market. I think Nissan and Honda's got one coming out. I think what Toyota's got one. Ford's got a couple of low cars around 35,000. They're and Kia and Hyundai and stuff like that too. So we're starting to see the more affordable, economical car is going to be the new thing in the car market as far as new cars and what's selling, what's the hot seller. Now, as far as what I was saying to Advanced Auto, put out more learning material. If you guys still have all those old repair manuals that be sitting on the shelves and stuff like that, just give them free. If you're gonna close the stores and you're gonna be sitting on a shit ton of the, I gotta stop cursing. This is gonna be on YouTube. Children might be listening. I need to stop cursing. But if you're gonna have a bunch of those old like repair manuals and all that old learning material, put it out there. Put it online on PDFs for free. Give it out there in the stores on the little shelf by the door. Say, hey, take one for free. And now a bunch of people will walk right by it and not pick it up at all. Trust me, they will. But a few, that legit actually want to fix their stuff, they will go in and they will pick up that manual and they will go home, read it, study it. Some of them will learn it by heart and then apply what they read in the manual to actual like videos on YouTube. And next thing you know, boom. Because by having the reading material and the video material to learn from, like it allows you to learn faster. So, Advanced, if you're listening, that's my advice. Put out more reading material, target the DIY market. Earlier to what was going on to Trump and the Colombian president, yeah, just stop. We don't need a tariff war. Like the price of bananas and all like the stuff that, like, I just went grocery shopping today and I spent like $200, and it's just me by myself. Now I did buy a little stuff for my, for my mom and dad just to make sure they're good too. But I spent $200 at the grocery store today, and I'm telling you now, the price of goods are not really declining like that. We don't need it to go higher. Please, no more tariff wars. Trump, chill out. Now I understand why he did it because they were kind of playing hardball with letting the migrants back in. But overall, we don't need a tariff war. No one does. And to the Kia recalls, um, go ahead because I forgot to do that about the tariff thing. Let me go ahead and click back to this real quick. Back to the Kia airbag. Yes, they're recalling 80,000 cars. In total, this is focusing on the Nero platform. If you are driving a Nero EV, Nero combustion based platform, Nero hybrid platform around this type of vehicle, go take your stuff to the dealership and see if they can trade it in for something else. Me personally, um, yeah, gee, with the Kia Stinger, the well, I mean, technically, the Kia Optimas are okay if you get one that's not turbocharged. I'm for anything that's not turbocharged because in my mind, if it's turbocharged, that's something else that needs to be maintained and replaced. And those turbochargers ain't cheap. And they ain't as easy as just taking it off and fix and replacing it yourself. Sometimes they can be very complicated. You need specialty tools and all that stuff, and it just sucks. So I prefer naturally aspirated, um, simple things. Naturally aspirated, no turbocharging, no supercharging. I love the sound of all those type of vehicles. I love the horsepower. I love the torque, but as a daily driver, it doesn't need to be supercharged. It doesn't need to be turbocharged. But yeah, take your Kia Niro, trade it in. I mean, if you want something sporty, get a Kia Stinger. If not, get a Kia Optima, something just simple that you can maintain and work on yourself. And overall, just to expand on that, please look at the history of these car makers, whether it's Kia, BMW, Volkswagen, Nissan, Subaru. And why did I specifically mention all those people? Why? And it's, well, I mean, all automakers got some type of scandal or something going on in the headlines, really. No one's hands are clean. They all got faults somewhere. Toyota has been having issues. Honda, they've had CVT issues. I don't know why Honda tried to take on the CVT, but that was something not really the best, especially after Nissan tried it and it didn't work with Nissan. But there's been quality issues, manufacturing issues, production issues. There's been a number of issues affecting the car market. They're starting to, in my opinion, overcomplicate the production process and the manufacturing of these vehicles. We're trying to pack too much technology. In my opinion, our safety features, like around 2008 to 2012, is where cars met their pinnacle. You were as safe as you wanted to be, but your car was as maintainable and easy to work on as you could have it, if that makes sense to anyone out there listening. So, yeah, please just look at the background at your car, know what you're driving. And if you can, try to do some of the stuff yourself so you can save money. And please, please stay away from CVT transmissions, brand new technologies, and like anything that's brand new that they haven't tested out for a number of years. Me personally, 5.3 liter V8 Chevy. I love it. 5.0 Ford V8. Love it. A lot of the four cylinders that Toyota and Honda make. Love it. Especially the VVT, and that with the 2J. God, I'm not good with all the names, but I love those. BMW, which now I think about, they had that whole wiring issue that could set cars on fire, which was a little bit dangerous. But aside of that, BMWs, all their inline six naturally aspirated engines. Boom, simple. Now I think they had what is it? I think they had aluminum head bolts that would stretch, and like some of those would break off. I'm not familiar. It's a lot of car knowledge and stuff. I see why some of these car guys can just sit there and talk about it for days. But yeah, know your vehicle, guys, and please try to take everything serious. I gotta get out of here. Well, take this spot. Peace. I love you guys. And let's have a good day at work tomorrow. I'll see some of you guys on the way there.